The latest data shows Latino entrepreneurs still face significant funding gaps despite being the fastest growing demographic among all U.S. entrepreneurs. According to data from Crunchbase, Latino-owned companies only received $2.7 billion, or 1.7% of total venture capital funding in 2020. And as of May this year, the group received $1.7 billion, or 1.5% of overall funding for this year. Joining us now, Miriam Rivera, CEO and Managing Director at Ulu Ventures, a top seed stage venture fund focused on IT startups. Rivera was one of the first US-born Latinas to lead a venture firm. A very good afternoon to you, Miriam. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Your company and your fund, you focus predominantly on Hispanic entrepreneurs. Is that right?
We focus on diverse teams that include Hispanic entrepreneurs, and we think it's a great opportunity because it is one of the fastest self-educating groups in the entire country, second only to women.
I was going to ask a follow-up on that, which you kind of just touched on. Do you think this is something that leads to better results? Are there factors that make these entrepreneurs worth backing more than others, or is it more a leveling the playing field initiative?
Well, I think there's about 3 points here, one of which is Latino entrepreneurs represent a very large segment of the U.S. Consumer base, and it is a growing base. So in the Gen Z population, a quarter of those people have Latino origins in their family. So that is much larger than in past generations. Secondly, they are over $2.4 trillion of buying power. So companies that don't respond to this market are really missing out. And yes, we believe that diverse teams that include Latinx are much more likely to be profitable. And we have a number of founders who have built billion-dollar companies coming from that group.
Very interesting here. You have, it says, $200 million in assets under management and 9 unicorns in their portfolio. SoFi and Palantir are among the names that you're invested in. Why those names specifically? They are names that we speak about a lot here on CNBC. In fact, we're speaking with the COO of Palantir earlier in the program.
These are 2 of our recently public companies out of our first fund. And in part, they're just great technologies, but we were first-round investors in SoFi in particular. And part of that is having advantages here in Silicon Valley in terms of being able to access great entrepreneurs. I've basically grown up in Silicon Valley. I came here as an 18-year-old on a full scholarship to Stanford University. I've been an early employee at Google, one of the first 160 there, helped grow that company to $5 billion. And I think it's partly because of our access and also because entrepreneurs are looking for diverse investors to be part of their cap tables.